Kevin with some ice to work with. Bearanta on his back. Pass across, shot, score! Poliuso puts the Gauchos in front. Curling with the puck now for Ochpish. Shot through traffic. He scores! You can feel it building. Picciotto across for Shin. Shot, glove save by Nora Penn. Oh, that's an incredible save from Penn. Poliuso throws front save, rebound, score! Justin Goleta! Piagai a thumping hit. Deep skating, dunking tornado, and tip, save made, rebound, score! Kevin Mooney gives the Gauchos the overtime win. The longest homestand of the 2016-17 season concludes today, and hopes for the hosts that they can continue this longest win streak of the season as well as they close out their first ever season series at the ACHA Division II level against the visiting Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears. Well, hi everybody, Eric Evelhoch with Kyle Nicolas here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. We are live from the Snyder Rink at Ice in Paradise in beautiful Goleta. The Gauchos coming off a thrilling come-from-behind victory last night over Santa Rosa Junior College, a 9-7 final. The Gauchos entered the final period trailing by 3. It was 6-3, but UCSB able to ride the strength of a third-period hat trick by Cooper Spears. Jesper Damgaard getting involved as well, and Jaguar Lawrence scoring a pair of goals in the third period, the game tire, and the game-sealing goal into the empty net to clinch the victory with the 9-7 result. For the Gauchos, it is the largest third-period comeback at home ice in the Ice in Paradise era, and they look to build on what was another tremendous day from team-leading goal scorer Cooper Spears, as well as the first hat trick in UCSB colors for Jaguar Lawrence. Speaking with head coach Scott Hires before the game today, he made special mention to the chemistry that the two have shown together, and nine games played. But the most impressive thing about that for the Gauchos is with the big performance from those two, they did it without two of their regular most impressive performers in Kyle and Kevin Mooney. The Mooney brothers, as well as Andrew Vieira, unable to participate yesterday as they were with the UCSB roller hockey team. They are back today, and the Moonies, how much have they meant to this team offensively? Well, 20 points between them. How about that? Kevin Mooney with 6 goals and 6 assists in 5 games played. Kyle Mooney with 3 goals and 6 assists for 9 points. So that'd actually be 21 points between the two of them. Mooney, of course, Kyle setting up Kevin for the game-winning goal in overtime against the Santa Clara Broncos back 8 days ago. So they are back in the lineup, as is defenseman Andrew Vieira, and that's particularly important. Not only does it allow Christian Ochpish to move up to a forward role where he's just been filling the net up, 3 goals, 2 of them on the power play, but it also enables the Gauchos to not overplay one of their defensemen who's a little bit banged up coming into tonight in Eric Valois. Coach Hires mentioning before the game that the shoulder's a little bit of an issue for the graduate student out of Ventura, so he'll look to try and limit his time on the ice today, with Vieira getting the start out on defense with Dimitri Piagai. And Vieira had a fantastic showing for himself the last time he was on the ice. He had a goal and an assist against the Santa Clara Broncos as UCSB was able to skate away with the victory. Well, Kyle, we were talking on this pregame show here, brought to you by UCSBHockey.com, the official home for the Gauchos on the ice, on the web, but for a Santa Rosa team that, for all intents and purposes, you could make the argument gave yesterday away to the Gauchos, having the riptide line of Lawrence with Spears and Ockpish, having the top line of Damgard, who had a 2-point night yesterday, a goal and an assist with Poliuso and Goldser, and then the Moonies with Barone now on the third line. Santa Rosa, playing their third game in as many nights, faces an immense challenge here now that the Gauchos are almost completely full strength.
Oh, they face an immense challenge now that the Gauchos are full strength as well, but there's also this thing called motivation, and I would be absolutely shocked if Santa Rosa did not have motivation here this evening. They are one game away from being swept in the season series by ice hockey at UCSB, and that's very damaging to pride, not to mention the way the game seemed to get away from them last night. It's just going to be all that much more important for them to make sure that they come out on the right side of this one. They know they outplayed ice hockey at UCSB for long stretches of the game last night, so there's going to be a lot of additional motivation and a little bit of some extra meaning to this game for the Polar Bears here this evening. That would not surprise me if they came out and offered just as hard, if not even harder, of an effort and an even bigger challenge for ice hockey at UCSB this evening. And just one quick word for our folks at home. Thank you for sticking with us. I believe we have the sound technical difficulty resolved, so we should be good to go from here on out. You can never really tell what's going to happen with electronics these days.
And you can never really tell what to expect from the bottom of the lineup for Santa Rosa, but you know what you're going to get from the top. And Captain Josiah Nickel and John Kashishian, the two forwards for Santa Rosa, their two top leading goal scorers, exactly as advertised yesterday. Nickel scoring a hat trick, adding an assist. Kashishian with 2 goals as well. 5 of the 7 goals for Santa Rosa put on the board by that duo yesterday. And head coach Blake Johnson is loading up the top line to start the game. Those two will be together with David Lundgren on a forward line, with Colin Ridnour and Tim Buchter on defense, in front of Steve Morton, who gets the start tonight for the Polar Bears after he came in relief, replacing Matthew Colgrove, who left with an injury with around 6 minutes remaining in that third period after the Gauchos had tied the game at 6-6.
And in the season opening series between these two teams, the Gauchos did a wonderful job handling Josiah Nickel defensively. He was more or less not really a factor in those contests, but that was not the case here yesterday evening. Nickel really seemed to find a stride very early on, as did John Kashishian in this game. So we're looking forward to seeing how the Gauchos handle this new challenge as well. That's definitely going to be a hard, heavy-hitting line that they're going to have to deal with. But on top of it, even beyond the physical game that they can play, they are extremely fast, and they love to play the counterattack game. They like to catch the Gaucho defense just overcommitting to the offensive zone just a little bit, and by doing so, they turn it around and they take it the other direction.
The question for me in this game as we get ready for puck drop, no time for central points of analysis, brought to you by Center Ice Santa Barbara, offering an extensive line of your favorite brands for skating, hockey equipment, and accessories in Goleta at 7127 Hollister Avenue. But we've seen over the course of the 3 games that head coach Blake Johnson loves to double and triple shift his top players. I wonder whether the Polar Bears, playing their third game in as many nights, are going to be able to have success in doing that against a Gaucho lineup that now has 4 full forward lines and 5 defensemen that they can rotate through. We'll maybe just call that the one central point of analysis, brought to you by Center Ice Santa Barbara, on the web at Center Ice SB, center spelled the Canadian way. Back after the anthem. Final meeting of the regular season between these two teams. We're so happy that you've decided to spend the final day of your weekend with us. Myself, Eric Evelhoch, color commentator Kyle Nicolas, technical director Alina Portillo, and cameraman Jesse Gutierrez here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network from the Snyder Rink at Ice in Paradise. UCSB 5-4-0, facing Santa Rosa Junior College 4-5-0. UCSB's taken the previous 3 meetings and will send out a starting lineup that looks like this. At the forwards, Mitchell Poliuso in the middle, centering Jesper Damgaard and captain Justin Goldser, Dimitri Piagai and Andrew Vieira on defense. In front of Nora Penn, who makes her 9th start of the season. She has a sparkling 5-1 record here at Ice in Paradise this season. Meanwhile, for Santa Rosa, the Polar Bears send out Josiah Nickel with John Kashishian and David Lundgren at the forwards, Cullen Ridnour and Tim Buchter on defense, in front of goaltender Steve Morton, who makes his 2nd start of the season for the Polar Bears, and the Gauchos control to begin this afternoon's hockey game. Buchter will play it forward, connects with Kashishian, will skate in up the right wing. Tries to throw to the center for Nickel. It was blocked by the stick of Piagai, and he does well to chop it away from Kashishian. Back out to neutral ice, and Buchter had it taken away by Damgaard and rolls it in behind Morton. Kashishian retrieves there. Touch forward for Josiah Nickel, and he's on his horse. Piagai, the only defender back. He's by him. He shoots. Penn makes a nice toe save.
And way to stay with Josiah Nickel, recognizing going for that move where he just drags it across the front of the crease. Penn not biting on the first one, keeping that leg pad with him all the way across. Sparkling first save to get herself into the game.
Teams both go for changes on the slow roller into the corner. Turnover by Ockfish. Tries to center to the slot. Intercepted and played forward for Kadasic. Kadasic has it roll off his stick. He'll track it down near boards. Tries to throw it in front. Tipped wide of the near post. Brownlee with it again. Tries to bounce it across the slot. Succeeds, but Hansen has to wait and battle for the puck along the boards with Slisenko. Slapped free, comes for Ockfish. He'll put it off the glass. Bouncing puck taken away. Cooper spears in. Can't get the shot away. Knocks the stick out of the defenseman's hand, but the puck is played along the far side, boards and out. Valois back to chase. Good to see that he's out there to take his first shift of the evening, considering what we heard from Coach Hires in the pregame. Polar Bears slow things down as if they were expecting that there would be an icing on the play there.
I thought I heard a whistle a little before that as well, so I think half the players on the ice heard it, the other half I think thought they heard it. Not really sure what happened. Is this maybe a too many men bench minor on ice hockey at UCSB here? Because the referee's over at the Gaucho bench.
UCSB took one of those yesterday, the 5th bench minor taken by the Gauchos this season. Since nobody knows what happens, we'll just drop it off at center ice and reset with 18:21 to go in the first period.
Maybe giving the benches a warning for the too many men thing, as in don't try to jump the bench a little too early. I'll be watching you.
Barone's line is out there with Kyle and Kevin Mooney as Santa Rosa has gone offside. What did Kevin and Kyle do the last time they were on the sheet for the Gauchos? Oh, nothing, but just absolutely dominate for minutes at a time against Santa Clara University. Barone wins the draw. Piagai, forechecked by Evelhoch. His forward pass intercepted. Takes the clear in by Ridnour. And Ridnour sets up at the point as Evelhoch hooks it out in front. Kashishian tried to go skate to stick. Couldn't pull the trigger on it. Blount back. Aggressive forecheck here from the Polar Bears and the Gauchos to slowly roll this one into the defensive end. Played forward by Runge. Evelhoch now will control. Got Kashishian on his right. Slow roller in on Penn. Played wide and angled off the boards but held in. Tip play by Piagai. Slapper. He blocks Evelhoch's opportunity. Now Kyle Mooney comes up with a steal. Chipped back by Ridnour, and the Polar Bears will go for a change. Slisenko angles it off the near boards, too far for the intended target. And the Gauchos have iced the puck.
So a little bit of maybe a tentative start for both sides, both recognizing the importance of this game. For ice hockey at UCSB, maybe being a little bit too soft in front of their net, just allowing Santa Rosa to walk the puck down in front of Nora Penn a couple times so far this game. But so far, so good for both sides. Not really a whole lot of really good opportunities either way, aside from maybe the Josiah Nickel opportunity for Santa Rosa.
And he's beaten on the draw in the defensive end. Fourth line out there for the Gauchos. Can't get the clears. It's held in by Jampoli. Brownlee lost in his feet in the near corner. Heaved up the near boards, but held in by Katasic. Vieira will retrieve. Remember, he had a goal and an assist in the last game which he played. 7-3 victory over Santa Clara University a week from today. Hyman tries to dance through two defenders, and it rolls in on Morton, who holds. Morton yesterday saw his season numbers take a jump, and he took a hard luck loss in just the 6:51 that he played, surrendering 2 goals on 12 shots. Goals against average of .539 on the season and a 90.6 save percentage is Hyman's try. Wide of the far post, Brunch angles it off the boards, but Valois able to hold in. Morton directs traffic as Ridnour retrieves behind his own net. Touched forward for Larry Hansen to chase. Shot from the top of the far circle, wide of Penn, kicks out into the neutral zone. The Navy shirts control as Hansen peels away with it. Chips it forward for Lundgren. Curling in the far corner, back to the line. It gets through Runge, and he's able to hold it in at the line. Shot by Lundgren, wide of the blocker's side. Runge holds on the backhand, but it's taken away by UCSB. Plenty of confidence coming in up the near wing by Poliuso. Leaning on Lundgren and digging the puck free for Damgard. On the second try, it's chipped for Nickel. Josiah curls up the far boards, takes the hit from Goldser, and Piagai plays forward. Damgard tried to twist at center ice. Santa Rosa stands it up at their blue line, and Buchter plays forward. Chip, then chase. Piagai retrieves, though. Damgard took the hit to make the play. Off the bench, it's sent back into the Gaucho end. Then return for Buchter. Nickel, 4 goals and 5 assists in 3 games against the Gauchos this season. Shoots one right in on Penn. Makes the save of the chest and drops to Friesen.
So Santa Rosa going right back to where they had a lot of success last night, which is not just the physical game, but also standing up very firm on both blue lines. They're very hotly contested pieces of the ice when you're playing against this Polar Bear team, both either not letting you out of your defensive zone, and if they do manage to let them out of the defensive zone, ice hockey at UCSB is having an even harder time getting it over the Santa Rosa blue line, either with possession or even trying to dump it over the line.
Just over 5 minutes gone here, and a headman feed for Spears. Spears is in, save made by Morton. He answers the bell on the first great opportunity for the Gauchos.
What a pass to get Spears that puck too.
Jag tried to center. Akpish was alone in front, but Buchter did well to deny it. He plays it along the far side boards for Beliveau. Controlled by Piagai at the point. Backhands it in. Pabros shrugs off the Lawrence hit, but Spears controlled. Pabros knocked it free. To the line by Kashishian. The Gauchos play it back in. Ultimately turned out, and Piagai plays it into the zone for Buchter. It's clear out, intercepted Akpish. Into spring Lawrence up the far wing. Stays off the hit from Buchter for Pabros. Now Evan Hastings up the near wing, gains the red and throws it in. Valois to retrieve. Valois got a nice point streak going after he missed a couple away games for the Gauchos. The last 3 he's been on the scoreboard. Plays catch with his defense mate Vieira in his own end with the high forecheck from Santa Rosa, forcing the Gauchos to be diligent about breaking out their zone, and Akpish now finally does. Rolls it in on Morton, has a little bit of trouble with it, but immediately freezes it as Lawrence buzzes the tower afterwards.
Not quite shortstop quality handling of that little one hopper, but as a goalie wearing a lot of equipment, not necessarily quite as easy as like a baseball player would roughly find that one. But gotta be alert with those bouncing pucks, especially off the somewhat softer ice surface here at Ice in Paradise. They can get a little bit chaotic when those bounces come off the ice and come flying in on you.
Morton played for the Glacier Nationals juniors. It's Kyle Mooney on the draw. Wins it back. Vieira from the point. Blocks Ridnour. Turned it forward. Nichols spins. Can't connect with Brownlee. Valois for the Gauchos. Connects with Kyle. For Kevin. Curls back. And has the puck taken away by Ridnour. Chance for an odd man opportunity perhaps for Santa Rosa. Katasic shot wide of the glove of Penn. Hops Nickel, and Kyle will chip it past Pavros. And Brownlee shoots it into his own bench. And look out, he may have hit one of his own players as well with 12:36 to go in the first period.
It's one of those times as a player where you're really happy you wear a full face cage in those instances, because that one was coming in hot to the Santa Rosa Polar Bear bench.
Much like NCAA, full face cages mandated here in the ACHA.
ACHA actually uses the NCAA rulebook with a couple very minor rule modifications purely because teams oftentimes don't have the full control over the rinks that they would like, but otherwise the rules are exactly the same.
You do have the hybrid icing as opposed to the no touch. As Denon carries forward for the Bears. Penn saves, steers the rebound to the far corner. Lundgren blows a tire as Kyle able to play it out. Barone chips it past Buchter. Morton says, come on, Pavros. Retrieve, he does. Kick touch for Buchter. And he gains the red and chips it in. Bearing down on Hyman. Greg does well to turn away from the hit. The guy moving forward for Calcio to the line. Pavros holds. It's chipped. And ultimately out of the zone. Interception by Lundgren. Wheels with it near side boards into the zone. Behind the net, Lundgren on his backhand. Tried to get it for Ridnour. Intercepted and cleared to the line, but well held by Lundgren. Ridnour throws to the area. Puck is loose. Lundgren shoots. Penn makes a save. He had Kashishian in front of the goalie, and Nora with a tremendous response.
And the Gauchos once again fail to clear. Fortunately, they get lucky that Santa Rosa is in the midst of a line change here, but you can see Santa Rosa standing up really strong on both blue lines.
Calcio couldn't take the feed in his feet, but Gaucho's able to get it in to change the lines up. Runge's forward feed is intercepted by Slasenko. Goldser on the chase. Off the bench, in the feet. Damgard will get it from Poliuso. Goldser tries to throw to the front. Nice stick lift by Ridnour. Goes back to the point. Slasenko for Goldser. To the slot. Damgard! Save made by Morton as he shot it right into the pelvis.
And a good shift from the Gauchos, getting it from this line that has been so consistently good for them all season long. The Poliuso and Justin Goldser tandem alongside with the Swedish import Jesper Damgard.
Defensive zone draw controlled by the Gauchos after it had been won by Nichols. Slasenko from the line changes direction. Polar Bears. Nickel will skate it out. Puck chipped in the air. Goldser controls. Played back. Poliuso takes the hit. Nickel couldn't dance through Slasenko and Damgard. Jesper takes the return and turns it over. Shot saved by Penn, shuts down Katasic.
And bails her defense out again. Too lazy with the pass through the center of the ice. No one home except a blue shirt and a stick.
Poliuso with a big hit to roll the puck out of the zone. Brownlee now with it though. Shoots wide of the glove. Lawrence just saucers this to the near boards as the Gauchos will change lines. Vieira tries to turn, can't get it past Brownlee. Brownlee shoves him over and works the puck deeper for Nickel. Vieira on his back, but the help comes. It's able to be skated out by Spears. Nickel, though, steals from behind. He'll shoot it in as now the Polar Bears want to change up personnel with 9:15 to go in a scoreless first period. Spears into the zone by his man, shoots, scores! Spears opens the scoring for the Gauchos, and just too much speed up the near wing, Kyle, and a perfectly placed shot to the upper corner.
And we talk about how you cannot give Josiah Nickel the speed through the neutral zone. Well, the same thing can be said for Santa Rosa when it comes to Cooper Spears. They give him too much time going for that line change right there. It allows Spears to just build up the head of steam through the neutral zone, and the release is just sensational. Beats the goaltender over the glove hand and in the short side, but boy, he just got everything on that wrist shot, perfectly placed, and the Gauchos got themselves a lead.
12th of the season for Cooper Spears. That's the 8th goal he scored against Santa Rosa Junior College. Akpish and Valois will get the assists for the Gauchos, as Santa Rosa looking to generate some momentum, working the puck in the zone following the scoring shift. Valois chips it out for Jaguar Lawrence. Can't control, played back away by Hansen. Piagai for Akpish. Akpish can't get past the stick of Lundgren. Kashishian stretches it forward for Beliveau. Had it sweep checked away by Piagai. Lawrence can't connect with Akpish initially, but Christian able to chip it off the stanchion and in. Off the bench, Mooney controls. Slisenko, Buchter, and heaved off the near boards by Hastings. Kashishian shoots, pad saved by Penn, rebound goes past him.
And good job by Slisenko to recover there and make sure that he got just enough on the stick of Kashishian to slow that one down after getting pickpocketed from behind.
Barone worked it free and now touches it forward for Mooney. Kevin for Kyle. Looking for the return feed. It's an area pass that Kevin picks up. Drops back to the late arriving defenseman. Vieira had it taken away by Ridnour, but Barone unable to hold in at the line. Slisenko gives it back to him. 7:05 to go in the first period here as the Gauchos wheel back and Vieira will reset in his own end. Kevin gives it back to him. And takes the puck out again along the near side boards, hammering it back out to neutral territory. Buchter gets help from Brownlee to get it in. But Vieira for Slisenko. Nickel way up there on the forecheck. Barone able to split it through. Kyle, drop pass for Kevin, kicks, skate to stick. Save made by Morton. Rebound dug free by Kevin, back to the point for Valois. His shot through traffic, tipped just wide of the far post by Kevin Mooney. Ridnour ahead for Nickel. Max Brownlee in up the near wing. Drops back for Nickel. Nickel, spin move a la Denis Savard. Drops it back for Brownlee behind the net. Bodied up by Valois. Kyle turns the puck back for Vieira. Gauchos looking for a way out here, and the long lead pass. Too far, but no icing here as Herlihy in. Oh, it's chipped in on Morton. He had to do well to hold his post and recognize the puck at his feet. He does and freezes with 5:44 to go in the first.
Gauchos almost the beneficiary of a pretty crazy bounce right out into the crease right there, and it feels to me as though they have really established their game. They seem to have gotten comfortable with the way this one's rolling, and one of the things I do like seeing from UCSB is that they have appeared to expect the physicality that they know Santa Rosa is going to throw at them, but they have not retaliated to this point, allowing it to sort of just get into the head somewhat of Santa Rosa, normally something that's such a powerful strength for them. UCSB countering it very well, keeping a level head.
That's one thing we spoke with defenseman Eric Valois before the game as, ooh, here's a chance for Herlihy. Stick behind the net by Pabros. He mentioned that this Polar Bear team loves to throw the body, but the Gauchos did well to avoid the brunt most attacks. Puck stubbed wide by Hyman as Piagai holds it in, activating, and gets it back. Sends it over the top with a wrister. Bounce. Shot wide of the far post. Lundgren steps over Piagai. Lundgren shoots. Penn the save. Rebound cleared almost into the feet of Zerbe. But the Gauchos able to get it out up the near side of the rink. Buchter ahead for Kashishian. Winds and fires. Penn the save. And she'll corral it. Kashishian tried to give her the drive-by and was knocked down for his troubles with 4:37 to go in the first.
And that's good defending as well, recognizing that don't take the penalty, but also don't let the guy go flying by the front of the goaltender and just take an extra free shot in there. And also great goaltending on that last one from Nora Penn to get out well on top of her goal crease to cut off that angle, not give Kashishian anything to shoot at.
Goldser over the line, drop pass through the feet of Poliuso, but Mitch able to pick it up. Curls with it near boards, shoots high over the top. Valois has it chipped by Beliveau, will get it forward. Hastings touched for Kashishian. Kashishian shoots, Penn the save, and she'll hold. And it looks like, Kyle, this is a tactical decision from Santa Rosa, being content to attempt from far out, hoping that Penn will hold it so they can get an offensive zone face-off and set up from there.
Any coach is going to be happy with getting offensive zone face-offs, especially when you can throw a player of Josiah Nichols' caliber over the boards, as Santa Rosa has done here. But also at the same time, in addition to that offensive zone face-off, you do also get the territorial advantage. So for Santa Rosa, definitely a smart decision when you do need a line change. It's better to get that change on a face-off that's going to happen down in your opponent's end.
Puck out of play off the netting behind. Good battle in the corner there with Slisenko and Poliuso.
Slisenko's been in a few of those here early on.
Off the draw. Gauchos able to get it out off the glass. Ridnour takes the hit, can't get it forward. Brownlee tries, can't get through Goldser. Ridnour on the second try, able to roll it in. Vieira through the body there as they continue to battle along the near side. Plywood finally squirts out to the red line where Nickel takes it back. Slapper from distance. Penn kicks it to the corner. He'll go off. Spears looking ahead for Akpish. Akpish in. Breakaway all alone. Akpish! Saved by Morton. Got it with his stick. On the rebound, the shot off of Nickel to the near boards. Vieira, pass across at the feet of Spears. That's on the tape, that's in the back of the net. But now Santa Rosa, a chance for a break the other way. Nickel, great recovery by the defense for the Gauchos, but Jag Lawrence is going to be called for going low on the hit here. In fairness, Jag Lawrence, all 5'7" of him, if he goes with a hip check, is there anyone he doesn't go low on?
I mean, it's almost kind of like the opposite of when Chris Pronger used to hit people virtually for whatever team he was playing for. The man measured 6'6". It seems like whenever he hit anybody, even if his elbows were down at his side, it was basically an elbow to the head at that point. But unfortunately for Jag, gets the penalty call here, and ice hockey at UCSB has to kill off their first penalty here so far. They were perfect on it yesterday night, so it was a good look for the penalty kill, but they're going to have to keep it up here.
Kashishian's shot goes to the end boards, he retrieves. 2:35 to go in the first period. Kashishian tunes it up over the top, and this one will go all the way out. Ridnour wide for Brownlee. Over the line, winds and fires. Penn steers it behind. Brownlee to the slot. Shot deflected. Piagai got a glove on it to move it forward, and Spears will chip it far boards, then chip it down the sheet. Race for the puck here. Shot by Barone from an angle. Morton saves and gloves forward for Ridnour. Nickel stood up by Kyle Mooney. Katasic carries in. Behind the net, Kashishian will retrieve far boards with 50 seconds to go on the power play. Shot deflects off of a polar bear in front, wide of the near post. And down the length of the sheet. Kyle forces Morton to make the play forward. Valois knocked his man down at the red line. And the puck held in by Evelhoch. Back for Nickel. The return, Evelhoch, saved by Penn! And Gino Slasenko will send it to length.
And Penn with an alert save there to recognize that that was a great pass down from the point from Josiah Nickel in order to find Evelhoch down in front there. And yeah, Santa Rosa has the right to be not happy with that one.
The official blows the play dead. Larry Hansen was in ahead of the Gaucho defense.
And not even close either. He was well ahead of the Gaucho defense. That should have been a non-icing call.
3 seconds remains in the power play, 54.2 in the first, and so it looks like we're going to have an offensive zone draw for Santa Rosa. I'm sure that's no consolation to Coach Blake Johnson and crew.
Especially considering that they had a man back behind the Gaucho defense there.
Power play is over, and offside goes Buchter as he can't control the jumping disc at the blue line.
And a pretty good power play there for Santa Rosa. Unfortunately for them, nothing comes of it. But nonetheless, they got a few very good chances, including that one that seemed as though it was just deflected in front of the net and just trickled wide of the near post. I don't think Penn ever saw that one until she realized it was wide of her post.
Kashishian lobs it high. Penn makes the save, calling fair catch. A couple polar bears come in a bit close for comfort. One of the things we spoke with the coaches before the game, Kyle, and mentioned that Nora was not pleased with how easily Santa Rosa was able to get in and be tapping her after the play.
And it appears as though they're going for that quite a bit here this evening as well. Really going for just kind of playing a lot of those head games, whether it's the physical game, whether it's the mental game, whether it's just taking that extra shot, something just to kind of get your team frustrated, get you annoyed, and maybe make you take a run at them, which playing the physical game, they're more than capable of taking.
Kyle Mooney clears it forward. Race for the puck will be won by Kevin. Under 30 seconds to go in the period. Kevin spins. Pass back. Shot saved by Morton. Shrugged it off with a glove to Kyle. Kyle curls. Backhander. Punch to the slot. Rebound. Set just wide by Kevin. Barone into the feet of Kevin. He slaps it wide of the near post. Under 10 to go. Kyle with it along the near boards. Pinned there by Buchter. And Kashishian will send this out all the way the length, and with 2.2, the hybrid icing called. Gaucho's going to have to come with something quick off the face-off here.
Yeah, well, 2.2 seconds is just long enough for face-off to go down, puck to go back to maybe someone waiting behind on the face-off circle and get another good shot in. If the Gauchos are quick about it, maybe they can even work out a rebound chance if one happens to come off the goalie.
Draw won by Santa Rosa, though, and that'll moot the opportunity. Polar Bears have been good from the face-off dot all 4 times now that they have faced UCSB this season, but UCSB has been the better on the scoreboard the previous 3, as they are through the first 20 here in the first period. Cooper Spears' goal, assisted by Christian Ockpish and Eric Valois, the only on the scoreboard after the first period. Kyle, some quick thoughts about period number 1.
I don't think there was too much to be surprised about from either side. I think Santa Rosa does look like they are playing their 3rd game in 3 days. However, unlike last time when we saw them playing their 3rd game in 3 days, they have a lot more energy in their legs. They are sticking to their guns. UCSB is a lot more aware and a lot more prepared for it tonight, I think, than they were yesterday. But again, we'll see how this game goes from this point going forward. But so far, so good, I think, for both sides.
As you see, assistant coach Ben Brecker leading the charge for Chuck-a-Puck. We remind you that the next time you'll have an opportunity to participate in that will be on Sunday, January the 15th, a 4:30 scheduled game between the Gauchos and UC Santa Cruz. Come on out and join us here at the Snyder Rink at Ice in Paradise. And Ice in Paradise also hosting the Skate and Chill with DJ Darla B. 3 dates coming up on Friday the 18th of November, Saturday November 26th, and Friday December 30th. DJ Darla B has been voted Santa Barbara's best DJ by the Santa Barbara Independent. Admission is $10 with skate rentals for $250. For more information, visit iceinparadise.org. Call 805-879-1550, 879-1550. And come and skate and chill with DJ Darla B. Gauchos chilling in the locker room after a one-goal first period. They lead it 1-0. We'll be back after a brief pause on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. First intermission here at the Snyder Rink at Ice in Paradise sees the ice hockey at UCSB Gauchos with a 1-0 lead over the Santa Rosa JC Polar Bears. Final meeting of the season between these two teams. Eric Evelhoch and Kyle Nicolas with you here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Time to take a look at the first period scoring summary brought to you by Susan Goodale, the staff advisor for the Ice Hockey at UCSB student organization. Get in contact with her if you want to help support the young men and women of ice hockey at UCSB by sending an email to susan.goodale@ucsb.edu or calling 805-893-3530, 893-3530.
This is going to be a short segment too as well, right?
Indeed it will. The only goal
Unlike
of
last
that
night.
period came at the 10:53 mark. Cooper Spears scoring his 8th goal in 4 games against Santa Rosa Junior College, his 12th of the season, assisted by Christian Ockpish and Eric Valois. For Ockpish now, that means all 6 games that he's played in this season, he's picked up a point, and Valois has a nice point streak of his own going now. Valois with points in his last 3 games for the Gauchos. It was the only goal of the period, brought to you by Susan Goodale. Whether you'd like to make a donation, a gift, or discuss how you can help support the Ice Hockey at UCSB student organization, get in contact with her, susan.goodale@ucsb.edu, or call 805-893-3530. Your first period scoring summary.
You can also go online, ucsbhockey.com. Up in the upper right-hand corner, there's a big giant blue button that says Give Now. You can go there and find out more details about giving a gift if you would like, or get more contact information, or if you would like to give a gift either with credit card, with check, or anything along those lines, you can even do that right online, right there. It is configured through the university system.
And speaking of contact, Kyle, we'd like to make contact with those of you who are joining us live on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network, be it either the audio-only version via MixLR, which is how you'll be able to hear our next broadcast when the Gauchos take on California Lutheran University on Saturday, November the 19th. Game on the website set for a 10:30 face-off. However, Kyle, I do believe that we've gotten word that that face-off on Saturday night between the Gauchos and California Lutheran has been bumped up.
It has been bumped forward. I believe it is now a 9:15 face-off instead of a 10:30, so a little bit earlier than what it says on the website right now. That has not had a chance to get changed just yet, but that has been confirmed as though it has been bumped up. It will be a 9:15 scheduled face-off for that game.
So, be you listening on MixLR, be you watching live on our streaming video coverage through YouTube, we want to hear from you where you're watching or listening to this evening's broadcast from. Would love to say hello. We know that the Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears have a great social media presence and a great fan following for all their years of playing at Snoopy's Ice Rink up in Northern California. Also would love to say hello to Gaucho family and friends that are joining us as well. And of course, you can get social with your Gauchos by liking on Facebook at facebook.com/icehockeyucsb. Follow at UCSB Ice Hockey on Twitter. Follow UCSB Ice Hockey on Instagram. And of course, the MixLR page where you can listen to the audio-only broadcast. mixlr.com/icehockeyucsb. And audio-only broadcasts are archived at soundcloud.com/icehockeyucsb. A fistful of ways you can get social with your Gauchos. That means 5 opportunities, Kyle.
That is quite the fistful. It's kind of hard to fit 5 different ways in one hand, I guess you could say. So yeah, give us a tweet at UCSB Ice Hockey on Twitter, or if you are in the chat room for the live broadcast on YouTube, that broadcast link was sent out over Twitter and via Facebook earlier before the game started. If you are in the video chat room, feel free to give us a shout, say hello, and let us know where you're watching from. We would love to hear from you as this game goes forward.
And Kyle, there was a lot to love. Well, maybe love is a strong word, but there was a lot to like about the opening 20 minutes for ice hockey at UCSB.
There definitely was. Ice hockey at UCSB really solidifying that defense and really doing the best they can to keep everything from Santa Rosa out to less dangerous areas of the ice, trying to keep everything out towards the perimeter, keeping it out high. And then when they could, they got into shooting lanes, they blocked the shots, they blocked the passes, and they got in the way, not letting a lot in terms of very high dangerous scoring chances go towards the Santa Rosa, or excuse me, allowing Santa Rosa to put more dangerous chances on Nora Penn. So that is something that she will be very happy about, especially considering how many chances they got against her yesterday evening. A good change of pace for the Gaucho defense, but at the same time, I would give that a solid period for Santa Rosa. Really just that one goal, which was a blistering shot from Cooper Spears, an unbelievable wrist shot with just the fastest release that you'll see at this level. Just a sensational player to slip that short side. UCSB earned themselves a couple breakaways, but great goaltending so far from Steve Morton, who, as we mentioned earlier, did get that unfortunate loss last night. Was only allowed, I think he allowed 2 goals as well as the empty netter, if I'm not mistaken. So, but one of those happened to be the game-winning goal. So Steve Morton technically gets the loss for last night, but playing very well here today. So UCSB's been denied on a couple breakaways. Nora Penn has bailed her own defense out. I would say that was a very evenly played period. Both teams appear to be playing pretty well considering the circumstances here. And UCSB, just with the 1-0 lead, being the only thing that's separating them.
You could make the argument that the early save that Penn made against Josiah Nickel went a long ways to helping the Gauchos settle in here. Penn has made a couple of tremendous stops as we get ready for the second period of action, and her now scratching up the crease in front of our broadcast position. And really quick, a nice shout out to I think it's Aiden Letheby, who says he's watching from right here in Goleta. So thank you for tuning in, Aiden. He has said hello in the YouTube chat. We say hello to period number 2 as the team switch ends. Penn will play it behind the net for Piagai. First line out there for the Gauchos, held in and curled around behind to the near boards. Lundgren and Damgard do chase. The defenseman Ridnour holds in and activates. Kashishian with it, sharp shot, save, rebound, score! Ridnour goes to the front of the net. Kashishian was shooting for the rebound all the way, and the Polar Bears tie it 21 seconds into the second.
And the defense in front of Nora Penn just guilty of letting the crashing player get the stick in on that puck in the high slot, and it is the big line that comes up with the goal early. Exactly what Santa Rosa needed. Nothing Nora Penn could really do about that, as the first shot came in and it looked as though it stung her high just below the mask. So the rebound coming right out to the front of the net. As you say, a smart shot going for the rebound all the way. The set play works for Santa Rosa, and they've got themselves a tie game.
Colin Ridnour with his 3rd goal of the season, assisted by John Kashishian. Kashishian now has 8 helpers for the Polar Bears. Ridnour has done well against the Gauchos. You know, we talk about Nickel, we talk about Kashishian, but Ridnour now with 6 points against the Gauchos in the 4 games that he's played. 2 goals and 4 assists. Lundgren along the far board, Spears there to dig it out. Takes a spill, but able to play it forward. He connects with Akpish, who will ladle it behind. Spears comes up with the steal as Pabros overskated. Back to the line, Blount shot, Morton save, rebound off the top of the crossbar by Lawrence and into the netting.
And Lawrence is starting to turn into one of those players who it appears really likes seeing the Santa Rosa Polar Bears on the schedule. Lawrence obviously scoring 4 goals yesterday, his first 4 goals of the season, then getting the top of the crossbar there. And he has looked as though he's had some jump in his step here this evening as well. Maybe not necessarily going to get quite the same performance out of him, but nonetheless, be great to see if he can get another one here tonight.
Lane Beliveau will shoot into the opposite corner. Steal by Hansen. Lays it back behind where Vieira comes up with it. Uses the glass to get it to the line. Held in. Vieira again will look to move it. Pay the price as Hastings and Hansen both on him, but Kyle able to help it out across for Kevin. Valois leading the charge is Slapper. Deflects off the back glass. Kyle retrieves. Gives back for Valois. Room to shoot. Misses near post. Vieira gets through Kevin. Kyle back to the line for Valois. Kyle Mooney gives it up. Barone behind the net. Boy, Vieira has almost been acting like a fourth forward when he's been out there tonight.
When you got that skating talent, that's something you can do as a defenseman, and boy, do coaches love that.
Barone can't handle the pass on the backhand. It's sealed off. Nice kick forward. Hastings to the line, not out. Good hold. Area play, looking for Barone. Digs the puck free for a moment, but hard out off the near side boards. Pia played it forward. Gauchos going for a change. It's the stretch feed looking for Brownlee, stolen by Calcio. In over the line, Calcio just puts it wide. Slisenko tipped, headed towards the slot. Slisenko gets it back and sends it behind the net. Buchter tried to reverse it. Nickel ahead, over leads Katasic, but comes up with the steal. The goal 21 seconds in by Colin Ridnour has squared our score at ones. Hyman taking a stick check from Katasic, able to get it out. Herlihy on the second effort sends it towards the Gaucho bench, where Brownlee picks up for Santa Rosa. Pia hooks up with Hyman off the near boards. Backhander blocked and shoveled forward. Ridnour over the line, shot deflects off Pia, sticks behind the cage. Ridnour stick check and then takes his man down to create the turnover for Nickel. Nickel with it behind the net. Ridnour in front, save made by Penn, rebound by Nickel, and he wraps it into the empty cage. 2-1 Santa Rosa as Josiah Nickel continues to eat the Gauchos up this weekend. 5 goals and 5 assists against UCSB in 4 games played for the Polar Bear captain.
And UCSB still appears to maybe be in the locker room right now. I don't really know what happened to the energy, but they really have not started this period very strong. Mentioned that the first period very evenly played, the only difference being the Gauchos actually finished that one with a goal. Santa Rosa went ahead and took care of that early on here, but the Gauchos have failed to respond to giving up that lead, and now they've promptly gone back down in this one. Now we did see, obviously, UCSB took the lead early and almost took it right back right there.
Morton with a tremendous stop on Justin Goldser.
But UCSB needs to get a quick response here in order to get some of that energy back.
Polar Bears have turned it around with goals in the first 4:13 of the second period. Kashishian leading the charge, looking for more. Held at the line by Buchter. Tried to return for Kashishian. It skitters through the slot for Poliuso in the near corner. Poliuso had it wedged away. Gets some help to get it back from Goldser. Damgard off the boards. Touched in by Evelhoch. But Damgard digs it free. Goldser had it hop off his stick. And Evelhoch plays it in.
UCSB having all kinds of trouble getting passes through in the neutral zone. Huge pressure on the high forecheck from Santa Rosa.
Damgard ahead for Poliuso. Slid by LaBroucherie over the line. Backhand saucer feed. Can't connect. And Poliuso with a heavy high hit there. But the puck turned free for Kashishian. Damgard controls off the glass. Poliuso in the corner. Tries to throw to the slot. Hits the heel of the stick. And will squirt back into the Gaucho zone where Vieira will retrieve. Valois with Lundgren lurking ahead on the forecheck. Valois, nice connection with Cooper Spears. Sprints forward through the high slot. Shot from wide, saved by Morton. Rebound, score! I believe it's Ockpish who's able to bat it home, but the Gauchos with a great response after going down by 1, getting it back a matter of minutes later.
And sometimes in order to respond, what you need is a greasy goal, and you are not going to find much greasier than that one right there. You got players spilling over the top of the goalie, just grinding away to try to knock that rebound back behind, but the Gauchos, who needed a good response to the way this period started, go ahead and get it with that right there. We are back even at 2-2. Maybe right where this game should be. It feels like it's kind of been back and forth, even strength both ways this game, so long way to go and a lot still to settle here at Ice in Paradise this evening.
Goal scored by Jag Lawrence. So for Lawrence now, that is 5 goals for him in his last 2 games. Spears and Valois will draw the assists at 6:06 here in period number 2, tied at 2. Maybe not for long. Nice move by Kadasic, but Penn there to swallow it up as he got to the doorstep.
Good goaltending from Penn to recognize that Kadasic appeared to just lose the handle of the puck right in the low slot. She jumps forward a little bit and dives on top of it before he can get back onto it. Also good work from the defense to separate him from the puck just a little bit at the moment of truth in order to allow her to do that.
Shot from the line. Padsen Penn on Pabros. Spears takes the touch from Akpish. Taking the defender on, gets by him. Shot. Deflects off of Morton. Face-off forthcoming in the offensive zone.
And we got a few more chime-ins here on the YouTube chat from Mama Bruce, which I would have to imagine is going to be the mother
Travis
of
LaBrucherie.
Travis LaBrucherie, watching from up in Santa Rosa, says let's go Polar Bears. I think we can agree to disagree on that one, but thank you very much for tuning in. And Robert Ridnour from San Antonio, Texas. Thank you very much, Robert Ridnour, from tuning in from the Midwest. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast here this evening.
I'm assuming happy to see number 91 score the first goal of the game for Santa Rosa.
Definitely got to probably be a proud parent there.
As Spears turns it towards the slot, Akpish's shot was going wide of the far post. Morton makes no mistake with it, just snares it for the face-off.
UCSB responding pretty well to giving up those 2 quick goals. They did give up goals in quick succession on multiple occasions yesterday evening. Doing so maybe here again, although not quite less than a minute amount of time here tonight, but for UCSB responding well to that here. So all evens at 2-2. We'll see what happens going forward.
To your point yesterday, Kyle, the Polar Bears able to score goals 18 and 57 seconds apart. Nickel with it behind the net. And back to the boards by Valois, but got it to the slot. Brownlee couldn't pull the trigger, hassled by the white-shirted defense. Kyle touches for Kevin, lost it at the line. Kadasic retrieves. Nickel for Kadasic, in, Penn the save! Great clear to the rebound to the far boards by Blount.
And I think UCSB is going to be getting a penalty here, and probably appropriately so. That was a great pass from Josiah Nickel to feed Kadasic, crashing right to the front of the net. That's the second time he's been staring Penn down with no one in between, and Penn has just barely gotten the better of him. She's playing excellent here this evening. And it appears to me as though is that Tyler Barone.
Tyler Barone will sit down for the cross-check. So the second power play of the game for Santa Rosa JC. They're 0 for 4 on the man advantage this weekend against the Gauchos. Kashishian off the draw.
Not for lack of opportunities, though. They have had a pretty good-looking power play, just nothing to show for it just yet.
Nickel works the points with Ridnour in this 5-on-4 advantage. Takes the slapper, gives for Brownlee. Gauchos in a diamond on the penalty kill. Pass a bit behind Ridnour, but he's able to retrieve off the near boards. Kashishian for Ridnour. He can crank it if given time and space. There's the slapper, missed it wide of the far post. Back to the line for him. Kashishian for Ridnour, for Brownlee now. Shot through traffic, save, rebound, sent wide of the far post by Kadasic. Trying to argue that he took a high stick, and a whistle and
crease violation. Kadasic was inside the blue paint. That is a rule that the NHL does not have, but the rule basically states that if your team has possession of the puck in the offensive zone, if you have a player that enters the goal crease at all in any way, it is a violation, so it's not a penalty or anything like that, but the face-off does come all the way back out, similar to, say, like a hand pass call. It's a rule that's common in USA hockey. You see it in a lot of adult league, rec league games, and apparently also here in the ACHA.
1:05 to go on the power play for the Polar Bears as Penn makes a nice save through traffic, swallowing Kashishian's snapper.
And for Santa Rosa, they've done just about everything on the power play but score so far here this evening. So for UCSB, really from this point forward, any penalties they take, they're just about playing with fire at this point. Polar Bears look primed and ready to stick one back behind them. So for UCSB, doing well so far with the penalty kill, but allowing a lot of high-quality shots from dangerous areas of the ice here so far on this power play opportunity.
Brownlee's shot deflected. Slisenko couldn't get it out on the first try, tied up by Lundgren and able to get it back to the point for Brownlee. Slapper, Penn absorbs it.
And the Gaucho defense did well on that one to make sure that Penn could see that one all the way in. Brownlee got everything on that shot, but no traffic, allowing Penn to see that one all the way in from the point and turning it into essentially a relatively routine save.
Gauchos win the defensive zone draw, but great pressure by Evelhoch. Plays it back to the line, hits the linesman, but will squirt out. Chip forward. Jaguar Lawrence with time. Jaguar Lawrence shoots right into Morton. He will move it along for his players. Maybe not the best of moves, as I don't think anybody was ready for that there. And Slisenko was able to angle it back behind with 20 seconds to go on the power play. Lawrence able to kill off some extra time by putting it off the outside of the cage in towards the slot. Brownlee stood up at the Gaucho blue line. Lawrence with it again. Lundgren back in his own end. Home run pass intercepted Valois. And the Gauchos have killed the second power play of the evening for Santa Rosa Junior College. Poliuso. Played towards the slot, it's intercepted. Off the near boards, held at the line by Damgard. Now it's the Gauchos' turn to set up the high forecheck. Turned over to Poliuso in the neutral zone. Damgard tries to get past Ridnour on the entry. Evelhoch able to twist it back out. 9:30 to go in the second period of a tie game. Both of the Polar Bear goals have come here in period number 2. As Poliuso into the zone. Shoots, was looking high blocker. Missed it wide. Now Santa Rosa looks to counter. Shot into the feet of Vieira. Well blocked. And he leads the charge up the far boards, electing to dump it in. Morton will touch for his defender. Pabros made sure that Goltzer got the worst of that collision. Blount with a nice stick to break up the exit feed through the neutral zone, but now Hastings comes up with the puck and carries in. Kashishian takes it back. Buchter loses the puck at the blue line but holds it in. Piagai, the fake pass, skated out himself. And just work it up over the blue line and take a big hit from Buchter as the Gauchos will look to complete their forward line change. Akpish stands it up at the line. Played forward for Kashishian. Kashishian dropped it back for Kadisic. Shot deflected wide of the far post. Kashishian along the end boards. Tries a quick move to get free from Piagai. Dimitri able to spin it up the near boards and out, and Jag Lawrence a chance to get those little legs churning. Akpish ahead. Forces the turnover by Lawrence. Lawrence created it, tries a wraparound. Morton sealed off the near post well.
Not quite as fast as Josiah Nickel was on that play.
Tommy Denon played it forward. Hansen couldn't control. And off the near boards, the puck bounces to Kyle Mooney. Mooney with it. Pass across. Shot! Just wide of Morton. Thrown in front. Back to the line, Valois. Loads and fires, and it's gloved off by Morton.
Oh, man. Valois looking up thinking he had that corner picked out, and a great glove save from Morton on that play as well. A little bit of a shout out to the Mooney brothers, who, as you may remember, were not in the lineup yesterday. The reason being is they had obligations with the roller hockey team. The Santa Barbara roller hockey team off to one of the best starts in club history, currently 8-0 on their season in the WCRHL this season. Thanks in large part to those two players.
Roll chose roll. Kevin steps up to work the puck deeper. Tyler Barone sealed off by Kadisic. Valois can't hold the point. And now Brownlee leads the charge in. His shot scores! That's a heck of a wrister from the near face-off dot. High blocker, far corner. First Polar Bear lead of the game with 6:48 to go in the second.
Second Polar Bear lead of the game. They did lead 2-1 earlier today,
you.
but that is a perfect shot from Max Brownlee coming in off the flank, and he just finds the top corner just under the crossbar, just inside the post, and he gets all of that wrist shot in order to put it up there. Nothing Nora Penn could do in order to take that one out there. As a goaltender, you basically tell shooters, if you want to beat me, you got to make a perfect shot. Max Brownlee says, okay, watch this. He goes ahead and he does it. Santa Rosa goes ahead 3-2.
Fifth goal of the season for Brownlee. He's a player who doesn't like being held off the score sheet. Shot spins wide of Penn. Brownlee centers it for Nickel. Complete that thought when given a moment. Nickel, I believe, given an assist on the play as it's sent back down the ice. Brownlee entering this weekend. The game against Santa Clara University on the 28th of October was the only time all season he'd been held scoreless. So he's on the scoreboard here to give the Polar Bears the 3-2 advantage. Barone looking for the return feed off the boards. Instead, Santa Rosa will try to play it out, but Kyle intercepts. Kyle in the slot. Nice play from behind to knock it away by Nickel. The Gauchos continue to possess, though. Kyle back to the line. Backhands it to the near corner. Runge turns it around to the far boards where Colsio takes the hit to keep possession. Sent to the slot. Turnaround shot. Pad save, Morton. Blount holds the near point. Runge behind his own cage. Will stretch it forward. Hastings shot wide. As Colsio backhands it forward. Polar Bears complete their change as Hyman carries in. He's got Herlihy wide. He shoots wide of the far post. Herlihy throws it back in front. Morton the save and throws it back. Here's Captain Nickel. Gauchos come up with a steal. Colsio plays to the end boards. Ridnour retrieves. Got Pabros running a screen for him. Herlihy introduces him to the glass. Now Colsio comes up with a puck. Pushed off of it. Played from Nickel. And he's just able to get it past the outstretched glove of Slisenko. Oh, and this is a dangerous hit here by Max Brownlee. And the Gauchos immediately go over to say, hey, what's up with that? But will allow the official to dispense the justice with 4:38 to go here in the second period.
And that's good self-control from UCSB in order to do that. And I think Brownlee knew immediately when he threw that hit that he was going. Absolutely no objection. I think he anticipated that the Gaucho player over there, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was Slisenko over there along the boards that he hit. I think he anticipated Slisenko moving and maybe trying to move that one towards the blue line a little bit. That didn't happen, so it wound up being a collision right into the back of the numbers. So textbook boarding penalty. The Gauchos will take the power play.
First of the game for UCSB. They were 0 for 6 yesterday with the man advantage, but many of those were abbreviated as they took penalties to cut them short. First power play unit on the sheet for the Gauchos. Kevin and Kyle Mooney. Out there with Christian Ockpish, Eric Valois, and Andrew Vieira. Valois into the zone, offside. 92 ticks remain in the first man advantage of the game for UCSB.
And sometimes you just get a little bit excited on that blue line and you want to carry it over, but unfortunately for UCSB, offside at that point right there as well. So you can maybe see a little bit of fatigue starting to set in for both sides. It is difficult to play 2 games in 2 days, let alone 3 games in 3 days, like what Santa Rosa is doing, as well as what the Mooney brothers have done. They played 4 roller hockey games yesterday, and I know roller hockey games aren't nearly as strenuous as ice games are, but 4 games in a day can still take a lot out of you.
Kyle curls around the net with it. Pass backdoor. Little hot to handle for Kevin, but he retrieves in the corner. For Vieira at the point. Kevin over for Valois. Kyle for Valois. Gauchos passing around the perimeter here. Kyle for Valois. To the slot, shot just wide of the near post by Kevin, who had time and space. Valois for Kyle, slapper, saved by Morton, took a peek behind him, but had it all the way. 43 seconds remains in the power play.
Just wanted to make sure on that play. Just wanted to make sure. He wasn't quite positive, but nonetheless, again, a pretty routine save. Not a lot of traffic in between the shooter and him, and it came from relatively high out. So right into the bread basket, right off the highly protective pants that goaltenders wear.
Big face-off win and clear as Ridnour hammers it down the ice. This is a good bit of work from Larry Hansen here as Hansen takes a big hit and Hansen loses his helmet.
Santa Rosa not happy with the non-call on that one, but I'm going to disagree with them there. It was a clean hit. It was from the side, and it was on a player who was currently in the process of playing the puck. So it was not blindside. It was not a dirty hit. It was a hard hit. They were both going into the boards at full speed, but I don't think there was anything wrong with it. So good non-call from the official, but also blowing the whistle quickly, recognizing that the player had lost his helmet.
Good concern for player safety as we're now 25 seconds remaining in the Gaucho power play. Damgard dribbles it in, but quickly chipped back out. Slisenko, glad to see him back out there. Pia guy. Gauchos look, build speed through the neutral zone. Damgard tries to dangle his way through. Santa Rosa is back to full strength. Pia guy tries a return feed, goes behind the net for Goldser. Damgard tied up by Nickel, who created the turnover for Ridnour. Kashishian chips, intercepted. Slisenko shoots it back in. Santa Barbara is still offside. Enables the Polar Bears. Get the carry through from Kashishian. Lundgren, shot blocked by Slisenko's stick. Damgard area play. No icing coming here. Goldser wants a switch. Off the bench comes Calcio for him. Here comes the tip of the spear of the forecheck here. Evelhoch out now. Spear's the only player remaining on the ice from the power play opportunity for the Gauchos. As it's played forward by Calcio, deflected up and out of play off a nickel into the Press Emerine Hotchkiss player bench, where the Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears sit with 1:31 to go in the second.
And I think that was probably the best power play opportunity that UCSB has had in this weekend series. Still, nonetheless, nothing coming from it. Even then, I didn't really see a whole lot in the way of danger from UCSB on that one. A lot of moving the puck around the perimeter, which means result of some great penalty killing from the Polar Bears on that play.
Blount with it, able to connect with Calcio. Calcio tries to go wide, gets by Runge. Evelhoch. Hansen gives him what for as Vieira holds in at the point. Buchter moves it around. Lundgren near boards. Able to roll it out. Hyman. We're under a minute to go in the period. Lundgren. Taken away by Blount. Hyman behind his own net. Evelhoch wouldn't look for it at the near boards. Comes up with a steal and will send it to the corner. Gauchos go for the line change. 30 seconds to go in the second period. Played forward. Denon mixes up with Buchter. Pushes it forward for him. Perron nudges him off the puck. High pass through the steel roofing here.
Somehow didn't hit anything.
Buchter for Kashishian. Tries to send it wide. 5 seconds to go. Vieira behind the net. And that'll do it for period number 2 here at Ice in Paradise. Santa Rosa Junior College with the first 2 goals of the period. Gauchos able to equalize on a rebound goal by Jaguar Lawrence, his 5th in the past 2 games. But the current difference in the game is the wrist shot goal by Max Brownlee at the 13-12 mark that has given Santa Rosa a 3-2 lead as we head to the 3rd period of play. Kyle Nicolas, it's not quite a 3-goal hill that the Gauchos have to climb, but they're chasing again, heading to the final period of play.
Well, it worked for him yesterday, so you never know what will happen when these teams come out of the locker room. UCSB came out with fire yesterday when they came back out onto the ice for the 3rd period. So I don't see nearly as many heads being hung right now. I don't see as much frustration in the Gauchos as they head into their locker room down on the hallway. So for UCSB, I think it's a much better mental state going in this time around. But at the same time, they used that yesterday as a way to really sort of ignite themselves, I guess you could say, really lit the fire. The spark that they needed was the frustration of that 2nd period yesterday. So for UCSB, I think they're fully capable of coming back from this one. I think Santa Rosa is playing actually a little bit better today even than they were yesterday. And Santa Rosa has half the goals today that they did yesterday at this same point. They were up 6-3 at intermission yesterday. So I think both teams are actually playing considerably better here today. I think they're playing a little bit more cautious, a little bit more reserved. They're making fewer mistakes. They're not leaving their goalies out to dry quite so much. Pretty much every single goal has been either a greasy grinder goal or been a spectacular play. I mean, between the wraparound that Josiah Nicolas was able to score here in this period, which was just pure speed beating Nora Penn to the other post, or that wrister from Max Brownlee that was just a blistering shot. You can't really fault the goalies for anything. So I think it's been a very good hockey game here tonight.
I hear you mention those words, Kyle, and it jumps to my head, structure. And that is just one of the things that you can learn when you take part in the Thanksgiving hockey camp here at Ice in Paradise, November 21st to 23rd, held by coaches Steve Hines, the 12-year NHL vet, and Brian Scullion, who is an assistant coach for the Santa Barbara Royals. Both of them helped lead the Santa Barbara High School side to the inaugural LA Kings High School Hockey League Championship in 2015-17. They can help teach hockey players conditioning, systems talk, skills, and more with 2 on-ice practices November 21st through 23rd. Drop-off from 8 to 8:30 with pickup at 4 p.m. The full camp price plus snacks is $225. You can also drop in for a single day for $90. For more information, contact camp coordinator Eric Norton at eric@iceinparadise.org. Eric is spelled with a K, E-R-I-K, at iceinparadise.org, and take part in the 2016 Ice in Paradise Thanksgiving Hockey Camp. Well, the Gauchos trailing heading into the 3rd period as they did last night. It is a 1/3 of the deficit they have to cut. We'll see if they can do so. We'll be back for the beginning of the 3rd period when we return 3-2 Santa Rosa on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Second intermission here at the Snyder Rink at Ice in Paradise in Goleta sees the visiting Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears leading the ice hockey at UCSB Gauchos by a 3-2 score. Time now to take a look at our second period scoring summary brought to you by the Ice in Paradise Holiday Show, taking place December 17th with two shows at 12:30 and 5 p.m. Come see world-class skaters as well as those from the Ice in Paradise Skating School. That's December 17th with two show times, 12:30 and 5 p.m. Now with the second period scoring summary, here's color commentator Kyle Nicolas.
Well, the second period started off strong for Santa Rosa, just 21 seconds in, obviously coming into the second period trailing 1-0. They leveled that quickly at the 21-second mark. The goal on this one coming from, that was Colin Ridenour, the goal by number 91, assisted by number 27, John Kashishian in that one, and Ridenour just coming in and cranking that one from the right-hand circle and getting it by Penn on that play. For the second goal, 4:13 into the game, Santa Rosa took the lead at 2-1. This goal coming from number 22, Josiah Nicolas, assisted by Ridenour. That top line has just been nails for Santa Rosa here this evening, just giving the Gauchos all kinds of trouble, specifically with their ability to build speed through the neutral zone here tonight.
And you could see why head coach Blake Johnson wanted to have Nickel out there with Kashishian as well as Lundgren. When those are on separate lines, it enables the Gaucho defense to focus on the one key player. This way, it's pick your poison. And he's done a good job of keeping at least one of those players on the ice for over half the period, maybe 3/4 it seems.
Seems like every time we see, specifically Nickel, every time we see him jump off the ice, he's off for about 30 seconds and then he's back on with a new set of forwards. He's playing like half the game at this point, it feels like, and you feel like at this point that's got to be wearing down on him, but boy, his conditioning is just sensational as well. Santa Barbara would get it back, tie the game back up, the goal on this one being scored and credited to Jag Lawrence. A bit of an ugly goal down in front of the goaltender, Steve Morton, on that play. The assists being credited on this one to Cooper Spears and to Eric Valois on that play. The Santa Rosa Polar Bears would get the lead back at the 13-12 mark, however, as Max Brownlee scores his first of the game, this one being assisted by Josiah Nickel. So Nickel has had it in for, I believe, all but one goal so far. So he has himself a 2-point night here going so far after registering, I believe it was 5 yesterday night. So he has had it registering 4 yesterday night. So he's having himself a heck of a weekend here at Ice in Paradise.
As it always seems when Josiah Nichols on the ice, he has been the superlative player for the Polar Bears the last several seasons up north.
And that was it for the second period, just 2 penalties being called and no goals being scored in either of the power plays. 7:54 mark, a cross-checking penalty to Santa Barbara's Tyler Barone. And then at the 15:22 mark, a Santa Rosa penalty, this one going to, I believe, number 86, I believe that is Max Brownlee on that play. And that one was going for boarding. So 3-2, the score going into the third period here, and that's going to do it for your scoring summary of the second period.
We take a look now at the UCSB campus sports update. Yesterday it was men's basketball dropping their season opener and home opener at the Thunderdome 74-60 to the University of Nebraska Omaha. Both Gabe Vincent and Ami Lakaju had 12.6 rebound games, but it wasn't enough as the Mavericks were able to run away with a 10-point advantage in the second half of play. Just something about the Thunderdome yesterday wasn't good for the Gauchos as women's volleyball fell to 17-10 on the season, 8-6 in Big West play with a 5-set loss to UC Riverside, 2-3. Elizabeth Sheffield had 13 kills to lead the Gauchos and 6 blocks as well, while Amelia Petracci had 21 digs. Later to come this week for Gaucho Campus Sports on Tuesday, women's basketball opens their home portion of the 2016-17 regular season, facing Pepperdine at 7 p.m. at the Thunderdome. The men get back at it, look for their first win of the season against the University of San Francisco Dons, Wednesday at 7 p.m. at the Thunderdome. Thursday and Friday, men's and women's swim are down in East Los Angeles taking part in the A3 Invitational. Friday, men's water polo will be up in Stockton at the Gold Coast Conference Tournament. Remember, the Gaucho men's water polo team went unbeaten through Gold Coast Conference regular season play. We'll see if they can bring a tournament crown back to UCSB. Also on Friday, the women's basketball team is on the road at the University of Seattle. I will be on the play-by-play broadcast for that, 7 p.m. Pregame show starts at 6:45 on your home for the Gauchos on the web, ucsbgauchos.com. That's your campus sports update. Keep up with the Gauchos at ucsbgauchos.com. And, of course, you want to keep up with everything with ice hockey at UCSB. That site, www.ucsbhockey.com, your home for the Gauchos on the ice, on the web. And Kyle, as we get ready for the Gauchos to get back on the ice here for period number 3, we were talking during the intermission here with our cameraman, Jesse Gutierrez, about how different this game feels from last night's game. What do the Gauchos need to do to leave the fans with a similar feeling to the end of last night's contest?
I think the biggest key to this third period for both sides is going to be the neutral zone. Both sides have really strived to gum it up, to not allow their opponent going through it with a lot of speed, as we've seen a couple instances tonight when it happens, whether it's Cooper Spears, Josiah Nickel, Max Brownlee, anything along those lines. It usually winds up in the back of their net. Now, fortunately for both teams, they haven't really allowed that to happen either way. But for UCSB specifically, I would expect in this third period, Santa Rosa is just going to make their blue line, make the offensive blue line for ice hockey at UCSB an absolute war zone. So for UCSB, they're just going to have to find a way to get that through, whether it's getting it to the blue line, dumping in and going in and retrieving it, withstanding the physical presence, finding a way to break through with some speed, whatever it is, they're going to have to find a way to do it here.
What do you think Santa Rosa can take from last night's game and apply to today's? As obviously giving up a 3-goal lead, it seemed like once Jesper Damgaard scored that first goal and Cooper Spears got his first to bring it within a 1 game, at that point the snowball was already rolling downhill, and it was just a matter of time till the Polar Bears were crushed underneath it.
For the Polar Bears, I think the biggest thing that they can take from last night and apply to today is just the memory of what happened, really. It kind of felt like as though they came out for the third period, they weren't quite ready for what the Gauchos were going to throw at them. The Gauchos caught them flat-footed a little bit, and before you know it, the snowball was rolling, as you say, and UCSB just basically barrel-rolled them to the point where the game was suddenly evened up, and at that point, that was a 3-goal lead that Santa Rosa had. It's only a 1-goal game here tonight, so neither of these teams can afford to take their foot off the gas pedal. They got to stay focused, and they got to be ready right from the drop of the puck.
Who are you looking to come up with the big play for the Gauchos? Is this Cooper Spears' time? As he was telling us before the game, he does not like playing against this Santa Rosa team, and he's been taking it out on him by putting pucks in the back of the net.
You could fool me, because it appears to me as though he loves playing the Santa Rosa team with the number of goals he's scored against them all season long. But yeah, you can definitely tell that the physical wear and tear it puts on Cooper Spears, not something he really likes to contend with. He likes being able to work his way into open ice using that slash skating ability, that ability he's got to stick handle through guys. Santa Rosa has not allowed that to happen all season long. He's had to rely on using his speed and using his just positional awareness in order to get himself into those areas of the ice. So I am looking to Spears. I'm also looking to the Mooney brothers, and it wouldn't be nice if Jag Lawrence got another one as well.
Top line out there for each team to begin things as Poliuso carries into the zone, works to the top, misses wide of the near post. Damgaard back to the point. Vieira got it through Brownlee. Damgaard chips it to the corner. Moved along. Damgaard back to the line. Vieira slapper through traffic, wide, picked up by Goltzer behind the net. He curls to the far corner. Bodied there by Ridenour. Stabbed it free for Nickel behind the net. Damgaard does well to shield the puck away from him, but lost it in the face-off circle to Brownlee. Brownlee's goal, the difference in the game, as he just gets it out to neutral ice with the Gauchos. Send it back in for Ridenour to retrieve far corner. Brownlee can't get past the Gaucho defense. UCSB comes in a hair offside. Goltzer is ready to crank from the top of the near face-off circle.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration there because he knows he had a good scoring chance right there. Fortunately, just a hair offside. Good catch by the linesman, especially catching that at real time at high speed. UCSB was going over that blue line hot.
Kashishian out there with Hastings and Brownlee, or Evelhoch that is, rather. And this time, trying to play the puck high through the triangular metal latticing
No
up
such
over the
luck.
ice here.
No such luck this time.
Remember, that's how Santa Rosa Junior College scored one of their goals yesterday. Almost this sort of Hail Mary play, if you will. Buchter up the near side boards. Lysenko will turn it forward for Spears. Nice stick by Kashishin. Is able to allow Hastings to dump in. Buchter held at the line, but no, it broke the plane coming across. So the Polar Bears have gone offside.
And pretty deceptive little move there just to reach out with that hand, grab it, try to bring it back over the blue line. Linesman not catching, or not having any of it, I should say, but nonetheless a pretty clever move there from Tim Buchter.
Spears on the carry into the zone, backs the defenseman off, shot over top the net. Lawrence tries a backhander into the slot area. Spears settles it down, forced Lysenko, his shot deflected off a Polar Bear stick to Evelhoch. Evelhoch gains the red and angles it in. It gets through Penn. Look out! Evelhoch hard into the end boards with the puck, gathers it, throws it to the slot. Runge with it. Runge deflects. Spears plays it forward. Akpish back for Spears. Nice defense by Ridenour to stand him up and take the puck away. 3-on-2 opportunity here. Ridenour's shot blocked by Piagai. Gets it back in the far corner, sends behind the net for Hansen. Hansen dumps it back behind. Piagai will ride it up the near boards. Nice hold. Hansen across. Ridenour. Clack sticks with Piagai, and off the bench, Kevin Mooney will come up with the puck. We've played 2:30 here in period number 3 as the pass gets through Kyle Morton out to play, nullifying the icing, and moves it on for Hansen. Hansen takes a big hit, gets it to the line, but not out. On the second and third effort, he's able to get by Blounce. Piagai back to retrieve. The junior from Los Angeles gives it up for Blount and takes it back from him. Kevin switches for Kyle, who will steam in up the left wing. Kyle to the net. Kyle, shot save made by Morton, and he holds.
UCSB gets a little bit of speed coming through the neutral zone, and that's a great player for if you're a Gaucho fan to want to see coming through. Kyle Mooney, great wrists, great hands, good shooter. Unfortunately for UCSB, just doesn't quite sneak it through. The net is actually off behind the goaltender. I don't think the officials have noticed it, but it is slightly off the goal line.
And now up ahead, a breakaway chance. Brownlee sends it over the top, and the rebound bounces through Katasic, but he'll send it back behind the net. Lysenko picks it up for the Gauchos and backhands it to the line, but held in there by Katasic for Nickel behind the net. Nickel shrugs off the Lysenko hit. Pulls the puck out wide, but Kevin comes over and will send for Kyle. Kyle in 1-on-2. Barone arrives late. The pass in his feet. Shoots high over top the net. Somebody's got to notice the cage is loose now. Kyle with it behind the net. Brownlee turned it away from Barone, but Kevin poked for Kyle. Back for Kevin. Shot wide. Finally, Barone pulls the net back on its peg. So play on. Morton was trying to get the officials' notice of it as well. It's Kyle for Kevin in the slot. Nice stick to take it away by Nickel.
Look out, 3-on-2 going the other way.
But they're near the end of the shift. As Nickel, they weave. Nickel shoots well wide of the glove. Kyle carries it forward. Kevin, who the man, tries to get it over for Kyle. Nice stick by Pavros. Plays it out where Hyman has and holds, stringing it across the blue line, waiting for the line change. Does well to get through Ridenour. Fights the puck. It rolls in on Morton as Herlihy just got a little flick on it. And the Polar Bear goalie holds with 15:06 to go in the third.
Good start to this period. Good pace for ice hockey at UCSB, putting a lot of pressure on Santa Rosa. And they have found a way to build some speed through the neutral zone on a couple different occasions now, so they have generated some good scoring chances with it. Just a matter of time. They keep that up, they'll get some good success putting that puck behind the Santa Rosa goaltender.
Pushed forward for Hastings. Into the zone, Hastings curls it below for Evelhoch. Evelhoch loses his footing and loses the puck. They scrum forward in the near corner. UCSB comes away with it. Pabros will retrieve the dump. Off the glove, Calcio knocks it down, plays it deeper. Back for Pabros. For Ridnour. Ridnour takes the Hyman hit, but able to connect with Kashishian, who gets it out. Kashishian can't get through Blount. Valois for Calcio. Calcio's pass broken up by Kashishian for Pabros. Slow roller to the line. Played through Hastings. Kashishian ahead for Lundgren. Lundgren held to the boards by Pregame, and Valois does the same to his man. Heavy board work here in the Gaucho, and as the puck off of Ridnour's skate. Chance for a break here. Pabros, the lone man back, gets by him. Draw, shoots, save, Morton! And he's able to hold it from going over the line, but the slash from behind by Colin Ridnour will be penalized, and the Gauchos to their second man advantage of the game with 13:49 to go in the third.
And file that away under good penalties. Ridnour had to take great move from Greg Hyman as he came over the blue line, just a little shoulder fake, and it got the defenseman completely out of his line, forces the man behind Ridnour to take that slashing penalty. Fortunately for him, didn't wind up going down as a penalty shot. I think the official gave him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt on that one because of the quality of the shot that Hyman got. But UCSB now with a big opportunity off of a great play from Hyman.
But the face-off win enables the immediate Polar Bear clear. Spears out there with Poliuso and Goldser on this power play line for the Gauchos. Came into tonight about a 17% team on the man advantage. Pregame pass across, broken up by Lundgren. Still sitting there in the slot. Put off the outside of the net by Poliuso and then cleared by Josiah Nickel. Frantic moment as the Gauchos were able to gain the blue line with ease. Poliuso. The drop back for Spears. His shot into traffic. Vieira has it in his skates. Poked away from him and cleared by Kashishian. The first 60 seconds of the Gaucho power play have elapsed. Carrion, drop back. Goldser had it stick checked away by Brownlee, but it's held in at the line. Valois to Poliuso. Shoots! Scores! Morton got a piece, but not enough. What do you know? Poliuso with the power play goal, and the Gauchos have tied it at 3.
And it's good to see two dry spells come to an end with that goal right there. Mitch Poliuso was so consistently scoring in the early going of this season, getting the goal there to break his 3-game scoreless streak now. But for UCSB also to finally break through on the power play, which they had had very little success with all season long. This is one that I think Steve Morton is going to want to have again. He just got a piece of it with the glove, not quite enough, and it's a slow roller over the line to tie the game 3-3. We got a long way still to go here. Buckle up. It's going to be a great end to this one.
5th goal of the season for Mitchell Poliuso. Gauchos go offside. Valois will pick up this secondary assist. As now with 12:15 to go here in the third. Even up again, but Brownlee in, Pat save pen, rebound sitting there, cleared by Barone. Puck along the near boards. Slisenko curling with it behind the net. Giveaway stolen by Nickel. Nickel curling with it. Lundgren plays it behind the net. Brownlee. Puck hacked away from him along the near boards and held in by Lundgren. His shot off of the feet of Slisenko for Kyle Mooney. Kyle, stick checked away by Ridnour at the line, goes right for Nickel. Nickel carries in, Nickel's shot wide of the blocker. Long rebound touched out by Akpish for fellow number 4, Tim Buchter. Brownlee off the switch. Puck not free from him, but he'll angle it forward. Santa Rosa offside, 11:16 to go in the third period.
And for UCSB, not a guy you want to be giving any sort of room to shoot from anywhere inside the blue line, wearing number 22 in navy blue right now, Josiah Nickel, coming over the line. I think UCSB's defense definitely giving him a little bit of respect on that play, but maybe a little bit too much room, too much time to get a shot away. Fortunately, it missed the net with that last rush.
Hastings with the puck off the face-off win. His shot high over the top. Norris stayed upright to handle it. Held in at the line by Kadicic. Kadicic walks to the slot, lost the puck at the moment of truth, but gets it back behind the net. Puck battle there with Andrew Vieira. Hastings came in to help. Gauchos move it up the far boards as Damgard. Lawrence tried to spear it out, no luck. Kashishian sends it behind. The boys are banging here as Damgard tried to chip it off the boards, instead chipped it into the Gaucho bench. Season series between these two teams, UCSB winning the first game on the 7th of October, 7-6. It was a game where the Gauchos had a 6-2 lead heading into the third. Santa Rosa able to storm back and tie it at 6. The Gauchos took the second game in the weekend set by an 11-4 final. UCSB has won all 3 games against these Polar Bears this season. To be sure, they want to get at least one win against the Gauchos heading back home as Runge's shot got through to Penn and she made the stop. Damgard saw Kashishian coming and played it behind the net. Switch area pass, looking for Spears. Spears on the run, Morton called for ice, no such luck. Whistle and a penalty coming here as Buchter takes the feed out from underneath Cooper Spears, and the Gauchos back to the power play with 9:56 to go in period number 3 after Poliuso from Goldser and Valois tied the game at the 7:34 mark.
And the speed of Cooper Spears is what creates this power play. Gets in, negates the icing, forces the defensive move from Buchter to come down, and he tries to put a stick in and just knock it away from Cooper Spears. Unfortunately, Spears moving too fast also takes him down at the same time. Gauchos are going to get a power play.
Kyle Mooney for Goldser. Behind the net, tried to give it back for Kevin. It's played out for Kashishian. Kashishian ahead 1-on-2. Can't get by Valois.
Say look out for Kashishian shorthanded. He did have a shorty yesterday.
Kevin carries in up left wing. Tries the pass across, good stick from Nickel to knock it back out to neutral ice. Kyle leading the charge. Stood up by Nickel, pushed off to the boards by Ridnour. Now the two collide into the end boards. Puck is in the midsection of Ridnour, and both of them are going to go for slashing here as Ridnour made no effort to get the puck free. Kyle with a bit of stick work.
And he's going to take Josiah Nickel with him.
So, after all that, there's still 70 seconds of power play time remaining for the Gauchos. Coincidental slashing minors means no change to the manpower. Goldser with Kevin and Poliuso, the forwards. It's one back for Poliuso. Vieira back for Poliuso. Felt the pressure coming, gave for Kyle. Kyle for Poliuso. Poliuso holds. Poliuso waits, plays behind the net for Kevin. Box defense for the Polar Bears. Trying to keep it to the outside. Poliuso interchanges with the defenseman. Valois walks the line. Shot through traffic, tipped over top by Goldser. Vieira stabs it to him behind the net. Goldser. 35 seconds to go on the power play. Goldser missed high blocker corner. Vieira to the slot. Shot Morton made the save and makes another. Poliuso holds, looking for a seam. Nice stick by Evelhoch to come up with this steal, and he'll lead the charge out. Valois stands him up and takes him into the boards.
Good recovery.
But a great bit of penalty killing by Lane Evelhoch that should melt off the final seconds here, and certainly this will, as Kadasic came up with the steal. Poliuso trying to get fancy, and the third power play of the game for the Gauchos has come empty. They're 1 for 3. Damgard along the near boards. Diving play by Ridenour to get it for Lundgren. The back check by Damgard forces him to roll it towards Penn. Vieira picks it up with 7:35 to go here in the third period. Slisenko leading the charge. Gets by the man and will roll it behind Norton. Points it out for Ridenour. Spears in on him. Ridenour with time and a fluttering puck plays it to the point for Piagai. Shot looking for a tip play. Damgard slowed it and enabled Morton to absorb it with 7:16 to go, period 3.
Damgard getting a little bit too much on that tip, slowing it up just enough to the point where it wasn't really so much a shot on goal as it was a slow roller to the glove of goaltender Steve Morton. UCSB no luck on that power play, but did gain a little bit of territorial time and some ensuing momentum as a result so far.
Off the draw, Barone pushed off the puck by Pabros. Played to the far point. Nice stick to get it out by Denon. The Gauchos return it back in. Denon, they'll play it forward. This one rolls behind Penn. Brownlee giving chase. Lysenko moves it along. Colsio sends it wide for Jaguar Lawrence. Colsio unable to hold the line at the near side. The linesman has called the offside, and Lawrence took a little extra whack on the shin, so the boys come together. The linesman says that's enough.
And Denon took a couple runs at Lawrence there on that one. Lawrence dodged a couple of them, and I think that last one he was getting a little mad about was the fact that Denon had him in the tracks again. Just the offside whistle went right before the contact came in, so Denon couldn't fully avoid it to keep away. Just a little bit of a graze at the end of that one, but Denon's been throwing his weight around here all weekend long. Really got to keep your head up when that guy's on the ice.
The coincidental minors have expired as it's heaved into the penalty box area. Look out, official scorer.
Hopefully they're paying attention inside that little glass box of scoring, I guess they can say. Not quite a glass case of emotion over there, but who knows? Maybe they're pretty happy in there.
It is the Woodstock Productions and Schultz family scorekeeper area. Of course, we've mentioned that Charles Schultz, such a big part of the Santa Rosa community, sponsor of Snoopy's Home Ice, where the Polar Bears play. Also has a institute up there. Valois holds it in at the far point. Tried to be poked through, and on the second try, Kadasic has it go off his stick, and Blount will angle it to the far corner. Blount moves it along. Nickel drives it deeper. Lundgren twists back where Lawrence takes the hit. Lost the puck. Comes to the near point. Pabros backhands it. Blount picks it up. Touch play. Colsio wasn't ready for the return from Barone, but the Gauchos able to chip it deep. Lawrence in on Buchter. Barone with the puck along the near boards. Taken away from him from behind by Pabros. And Pabros gets through Herlihy. But Blount will touch it over for Vieira. And the line goes for a change for the Gauchos. Nickel, drop pass for Pabros. Long pass, and Kadasic just couldn't hold it. Looking for Akpish on the lead, too far for him. Now Lundgren has it and will carry in up the left wing. Lundgren gets by Vieira to the backhand. Loses his footing and lost the puck. UCSB gets a friendly bounce off the high glass, and it rolls in for Ridenour to pick up and play forward for Nickel. Nickel curls free from Akpish, dangles wide of Herlihy, but Akpish with the steal. Pushes it forward by Ridenour. Shoots, just whipped it wide with under 5 to go in the third period. Lundgren takes the Kadasic feed. Lundgren going wide on the backhand. Curls around the net. Penn out of position, but he couldn't throw it towards the crease. Osborne trying to work that puck forward from the near point. It's come out of the zone to Evan Hastings for Kashishian. Kashishian wide on Piagai, curls in the corner. Hastings looking for the return. It's behind him. And Ridnour retrieves in neutral territory and shoots it in. Vieira sets up behind the Gaucho net. Piagai gives it back to him. There's that high forecheck from the Polar Bears. Looking to create a turnover in an even game. Gauchos just play this forward as Damgard. Had it knocked back in by Evelhoch. Evelhoch tried to get it to the slot. Kashishian was there, but Damgard comes up with a steal for a moment. But it was taken away. Vieira behind the net. Piagai shovels it along for Damgard. And ahead comes Poliuso. Poliuso by Runge. Poliuso throws it for Goltzer in front. It hit a defenseman. Morton moves it along for Runge. Damgard back to the line for Valois. Valois through traffic. Hit a defenseman and went wide. Damgard shovels it back to the point. Valois is there. Poliuso gives it back to him. 3:15 to go period 3 as the wrister was blocked by Buchter and he leads the charge out. Buchter rolls it wide. Slisenko played to the corner. Touched toward the middle by Hansen, but the Gauchos able to get a zone exit from this. Big hit delivered on Damgard. Don't think he liked that as he heads to the bench. Valois ahead for Poliuso. Gauchos in the midst of a change. Mooney's on the ice as Poliuso gets it below the red line. Tried to throw it in front. Morton sticked it for Pabros. Will play forward for the pickup. And shot in by UCSB for Ridnour. Far boards. Lundgren, the long feed, trying to get Nickel behind the defense. Blount broke it up well. And now Kyle comes in, sticked away from him, back for Kevin. Scores! Kevin Mooney has put the Gauchos back in front with 2:17 to go. Boy, the Polar Bears made a great play defensively, knocking it off the stick of Kyle, but it came right for Kevin at the top of the face-off circle, and a heck of a wrister for Mooney to put the Gauchos in front 4-3.
That's all the time Kevin Mooney needs, is just a split second to let that shot go from the right circle. We've seen quite a few goals go in from that particular spot on the ice here tonight. But boy, this has got to feel like deja vu for Santa Rosa. Forget, it was a Cooper Spears goal in the first time they met. That wound up going down as the game winner in that one. This time, Kevin Mooney may have just done it again.
Don't tell that to Katasic or Nickel, who's through Kevin Mooney. Josiah Nickel in, saved by Nora Penn.
Maybe her best of the game, right when the Gauchos really needed it.
Puck battle along the near boards, hammered out, and Ridnour will scoot it back in. 1 and 35 seconds to go in period number 3. Has Kevin Mooney done it again for the Gauchos? He curls with it on his own end, looking for the long bomb pass, knocked down by the 6'4 Pabros, but the puck had broken the plane of the blue line, offside.
1:27 left to play here. It would not surprise me if we saw a timeout coming from Coach Blake Johnson here for Santa Rosa. Just maybe to get the chance to draw something up, needing 1 goal in just under 1.5 minutes in order to get this game back to even, 4-3. Structure has been much better this time around for both teams, but for UCSB, are they going to once again benefit from some late heroics from one of their top players?
Morton has gone to the bench for the extra skater attacker. Buchter from the line. Hit a Gaucho in front. Played to the front of the net. Piagai now at the puck in a battle behind the net with Beliveau. Hastings tries to center in front. It's touch for Christian Akpish. Lawrence is on his horse. Area pass for the Jaguar. Turns away from the hit, and a great defensive play by Nickel.
He almost put it in his own net.
Under 1 minute to play. Hastings in his own end. Can't connect with the man. Slisenko will slap this back, and the icing is whistled by the official. The one on the near side was ready to wave it off, but on the far side saying, yep, that was on the right side of center to send the face-off into the Gaucho defensive end with 44.2 to go in the third period. And here, Kyle Nicolas, is Blake Johnson's lone time out of the game.
Good call from the linesman on that one to recognize that UCSB was not killing a penalty on that play. It was technically even 5-on-5, just with the skater pulled for Santa Rosa, so that was in fact an icing call, and UCSB is going to be forced to keep some players that may be a little short of gas in the tank on the ice here with, it's down off the clock now, so I can't tell how much time is going to be left here, but about 44 seconds left here on the clock. Buckle your seatbelts. We're in for a wild finish yet again here this evening.
All but the second game between these two teams, the 11-4 final on the 9th of October, have been really, really good hockey games. It's a nice contrast in styles. The big physical beat you up and then lightning strike with skill of Santa Rosa versus the roll the four lines and let the boys do as they do for UCSB.
Almost an exact opposite stark contrast of styles between these two teams. Santa Rosa also being the clearly physically much bigger team than UCSB is here as well. So that may have something to do with the difference in styles, but for UCSB, excellent play so far here through this third period. As we mentioned, the structure has been better for both teams here. Let's see if the UCSB Gauchos can hold them off and get this last W in here.
Puck dug free from Barone by Kashishian to the line. Nichols shot, save made, rebound goes behind the net.
Good job by the defense to track that down quickly.
Vieira gets the clear, the length of the sheet, hits it off the outside of the net. Great hustle though by Lawrence to eliminate the icing. Maybe not as a whistle blown.
Nicolas was down there. It looked like he and Lawrence collided pretty hard in the end boards, both of them going for that loose puck.
And it appears the late whistle is indeed for an icing with 23.5 to go.
Another big face-off coming up here. Barone going to be taking this one. Looks as though he's going to be facing Kashishian. And Santa Rosa once again here tonight, as this has been all season long in the series against UC Santa Barbara, just nails in the face-off circle. They have dominated the dots, have the Polar Bears.
Kashishian, Lundgren, Brownlee, Nickel. I believe that's Ridnour, as well as Katasic out there. It comes for Ridnour. Trying to curl free from Lawrence to the line. Kashishian looking for a tip play. Goes wide, under 15 seconds to go. In the corner, Katasic. Vieira drives in behind the net. Tempted feed to the slot. The shot goes wide. Under 5 to go. Held in at the point by Nickel. Shot through traffic. Goes wide to the far boards. Ridnour throws it in front. Penn makes the save. And the Gauchos sweep the season series against the Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears. A 4-3 final tonight, as for the second night in a row, the Gauchos dig themselves out of a deficit in period number 3 after a 3-goal rally last night for a 9-7 win. Tonight, it's a 2-goal response in the third period. Mitchell Poliuso's power play goal at 7:34 ties it up, and the game-winning goal off the stick of Kevin Mooney. Kevin Mooney, Kyle Mooney, Andrew Vieira playing for the roller hockey team yesterday. Kevin now with his second game-winning goal of the season after scoring the overtime game-winning goal against Santa Clara 8 days ago. He's now tied with Cooper Spears for the team lead in that statistical category, and a bunch of happy Gauchos are enjoying the fact that they've got 8 points in their back pocket from a rough and tough series against the Santa Rosa Junior College Polar Bears. But what a tough performance from the goalie at center ice with Kyle Nicolas. Our feature interview tonight with Nora Penn.
Thanks, Eric. Down here with the winning goaltender, Nora Penn. Nora, what'd you think of the team in front of you today?
It was awesome.
Sorry, Eric, you're probably deaf up there.
No, it was awesome. We fight so much, definitely, and it's definitely our team that has to win. And I love them, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fantastic game. Fantastic game. You've only lost one game here at home. How does this home ice, how do you think this affects you and affects your team as you guys play?
I think we are really proud of the rink here, and we wanted to show our fans that we really want to win. And I think we have so many fans behind us, so that this will impact us definitely in a positive way. Yeah, definitely. I think it's the fans and everything around the team, the coaches, everything. We are welcome here, so
Thanks, Nora. You have a great day. Thank you.
Kyle Nicolas talking with our Gaucho player of the game, Nora Penn. 3 languages she speaks. And you wouldn't know that English is the one that she says she has the least ability with, judging by that performance. Penn with a tremendous evening. We'll tell you a little bit later on our Twitter account, UCSB Ice Hockey, just how many polar bear shots she turned aside tonight to pick up her 6th win of the season and 6th here on the Ice in Paradise sheet. 6-1 here on the home rink of the Gauchos in Goleta, as UCSB has improved to 6-4-0 on the season, sending Santa Rosa Junior College back north with a 4-6-0 record. Kyle Nicolas now back up here at our broadcast position, and man, oh man, Kyle, we've seen as this season has gone along, as the Gauchos have been able to get together as a full unit, everybody except for Hunter Van Duzer, who is out of town this weekend for the Gauchos, here and part of a game that after last night, it was a scrambly, skill, quick tit-for-tat style of game. This time, they won a heavy hockey game, and they did so by taking advantage of their chances.
And whoever it is that's doing the interview, it's kind of become an interview, the person at center ice. But yeah, as you say,
it's they love Nora as much as she loves the. That's
they're going to pull on the guy that, or the guy. Nonetheless, yeah, as you say, at the same time, we've seen the Gauchos when they're playing at their absolute best. I feel for them because once again, just late heroics from UCSB. Rob Rosa now sweeping the 4-game season series, including having a couple that really Santa Rosa is going to feel like it got away from them.
It's nice to be on that side of a
UCSB
season
fully
series.
knows what Santa Rosa feels like right now because, boy, just doesn't seem – it seems like whatever they do, they just can't find a way through Chapman. Santa Rosa just can't seem to find its way through UCSB.
So the longest homestand of the season is completed, and after the 7-4 loss to those Chapman University Panthers, now, Kyle, that's 4 straight wins in a row for the Gauchos. It's a lot of positive momentum heading into the road trip to Simi Valley and the Isoplex against the California Lutheran University Knights, when we'll next be on the air with you on Saturday, November the 19th, a 9:15 scheduled face-off. It's currently shown as 10:30 on UCSBhockey.com. That will be updated. We got the news from Captain Justin Goldser yesterday that face-off time has been changed.
You want to talk about a team that really, really is going to have a bone to pick with ice hockey at UCSB. I mean, you're going to talk about the team last season that led the league in the NCHA, the California Knights, or at least they led the California Collegiate Hockey League in that one. They led the league
end to end.
End to end. Yeah, they never were toppled from the top of the league. So and UCSB on top of it as well, losing the first 2 games of the 5 times that they met last season, after having gotten together as a team for the first time just 3 days prior. UCSB goes down to the Isoplex, steals away 2 points on the back of an amazing goaltending performance, and they never looked back from there. After that, it looked as though they were just completely in the head of the Knights, and they took them every opportunity they got. The Knights came again close in the playoffs, but UCSB once again just found a way to pull it out. Late heroics in overtime, You can imagine that this the Cal Lutheran team is going to have a bone to pick with ice hockey at UCSB when we're next on the air.
We just got away from Christian Achpish as he goes through his post-game process. And, of course, Achpish was one of the heroes in that game, scoring the game-tying goal inside of 2 minutes remaining for the Gauchos to send it to overtime before ultimately picking up the 8-7 win and advancing to the California Cup final game. Well, Kyle, as the rink gets ready to be cleared for the next game here on this slate at Ice in Paradise, we need, before we get ready to worry about our next game on the slate, close it off with our 3 stars of the game, brought to you by Center Ice Santa Barbara, offering an extensive line of all your favorite brands for skate and hockey equipment and accessories at 727 Hollister Avenue, Suite 8 in Goleta. Call 805-770-7970, 770-7970, or visit centericesb.com. Center spelled the Canadian way, CENTRE. Star number 3, Kyle, if you please.
Star number 3 for me. I'm actually going to defer to you on this one. I'm still in the process of making up my mind, so I'm going to let you go first here.
I'm going to go with Eric Valois as my 3rd star in the game. Valois ends up with 2 assists. He's been one of those players that has quietly been a very significant part of this 4-game winning streak that the Gauchos are on. And it's even more impressive when you consider the fact that before the game, Coach Scott Hires mentioning that Valois a little bit banged up with 5 defensemen on the back end, don't know how much he's going to be able to give. Well, he's given the performance of 2 assists on the evening tonight, and Valois, since returning after missing a couple weeks due to his academic responsibilities, now on a 3-game point scoring streak. He, I'm not going to say it's broadcaster karma. I'll leave that to another jungle man who went to UCSB to talk about karma and talking with athletes. But I'm just saying, every time Valois come to talk with us, he's had a pretty darn good game after the fact.
I think that's why he keeps coming up here while we're setting up. So, if it's working, don't break it. And I've heard of stranger traditions that some hockey players have had. If you've never met a hockey player in your life, they are the most superstitious beings perhaps on the face of this planet, to the point where they'll walk into a building backwards through the left door on the second one, or the second left door over, if that's what it means for them to have a good game.
See, it's funny. I've always heard it's bad luck to be superstitious. Your 3rd star.
My 3rd star of the game is going to go to Mitch Poliuso. Mitch Poliuso has clearly been banged up. He's bruised, he's battered, and yet he's played through all of it, and he had himself a fantastic game here. It was good to see him get back in the goal column. He was a spearhead of the attack of that line, along with Damgard and Justin Goldzier here this evening. I'm giving my 3rd star to Mitch Poliuso, a vintage performance by his standards, and it's good to see him get back to his ways.
I like that decision for Mitch Poliuso. If it were not for the performance of Valois having the hand in so many of the goals for the Gauchos, I probably would have gone with him for my 3rd star. My 2nd star in the game is going to be Cooper Spears. I mean, it has to be, right? He scores against the Polar Bears for the 8th time in 4 games to open things up for ice hockey at UCSB. He also picks up an assist as part of it as well. He mentioned that he does not like Santa Rosa Junior College. And you are absolutely incredulous about it because, well, of his team lead in point scoring, it seems like the vast majority of it has come feasting on this Santa Rosa team. It's almost as if the physical game that the Polar Bears play inspires him to take his game to another level, and he did that again tonight.
As I've said before, you could fool me. It looks like he circles the days when Santa Rosa is going to be coming in, although I bet he probably still does circle them, but maybe just not for the I'm going to score a ton of goals tonight. It's probably the I'm going to need the extra ice bags and some extra Advil at the end of this one, because, boy, Santa Rosa took a lot of physical liberties with him this entire weekend. So good to see that from him. My 2nd star for this evening is going to be who else but Josiah Nickel, really. Josiah Nickel, once again, just a stalwart performance from the man that Santa Rosa more or less relies on to lead the team. He is the franchise, or well, not franchise, but school's all-time leader in every major offensive category, and he was sensational here again this evening. UCSB really, even though they were able to contain him and limit him to the point where he didn't have a hat trick here tonight, he was a threat every time he was on the ice. UCSB had to throw 2 defensemen at him just to knock him off the puck. He's strong, he's fast, he's an amazing stick handler. He's a true joy and talent to watch, regardless of who you're a fan of. My number 2 star, Josiah Nickel.
Nickel was tremendous. He's been tremendous his entire time against UCSB. You know, we talked about heading into the game, the fact that he had 4 goals and 5 assists against this ice hockey at UCSB program. He'll finish the season now with 5 goals and 6 assists, 11 points in 4 games, averaging nearly 3 points per game against the Gauchos. A tremendous leader for this program, and absolutely a reason why, if you're watching this game from up in Northern California and you haven't gone to Snoopy's home ice yet, what are you waiting for? Go see number 22. Go see the rest of this Santa Rosa team as well.
They're an entertaining team to watch.
There was some other great talent out there. We did a lot of talk about John Kashishian in the lead up to things, but
Max Brownlee's also very good.
Exactly, Max Brownlee, who I was just about to mention, scoring a goal in the game, as well as having an assist for the Santa Rosa Junior College team. Colin Ridnour on defense, a goal and an assist for him. This is a team that has been a league champion each of the last 4 years, and it's because of the caliber of player and now the caliber of coaching as well. Blake Johnson in his 2nd year, the player who donned the sweater for the Polar Bears 102 times, more than anyone else in program history. Great leadership and a great squad up and down. UCSB just got the better of them in the 4 meetings that they played this season. I like that decision to give the plaudits to Nickel as the 2nd star of the game. But we close things out.
The first star?
First star, and I don't see how you can give it to anybody other than the young tender who you spoke with at center ice.
You read my mind on that one. My first star as well was also going to be Gaucho goaltender Nora Penn, who I think played her best game that she has played in a Gaucho uniform so far. Several extremely difficult, high-quality saves here this evening. No groaner goals at all whatsoever. None that you could even remotely fault her for. They were either brilliant shots, brilliant plays, or stuff that she just could not handle as a goaltender, and you can't fault your goaltender for allowing anything like that to go past. Nora played sensational here this evening. Happy to give her the first star, and it's great to see her improving virtually every time she hits the ice with ice hockey at UCSB. Her confidence is growing. She's learning how these players are going to be shooting on her. She's adapting very well. It's a tough transition to go from playing the European style that they play in Germany on the wider ice, less contact, a little bit more of the skill and cycle type thing versus the North American game, which is a lot of body contact, a lot of grit, a lot of grinding, and a lot of just crashing to the front of the net. Puts a lot of pressure on goaltenders to really make sure that they contain the puck. She's gotten much better at that over the last few games. A remarkable improvement. My first star, Nora Penn.
And on top of all of that, I think you can add the word resiliency. This was a game that was all about resiliency for her because we saw in the 2nd intermission of the game last night how upset she was with the physical tenor of the game. And what did she do? She bared down. She stopped all but one of the 10 shots she faced in this 3rd period last night to help backstop the Gauchos to victory. Here tonight, she had no fear, was on top of her crease, on top of her game all evening long. And well, Kyle, as you mentioned, the transition is something that we as broadcasters have probably been a bit derelict in fully giving its due credence to how difficult that is for a young goaltender to make that transition. For her to join this team, and to join the team because she found it on Facebook, contacted the captain, and played the first couple weeks with a pair of loaner gear from the rink here.
Didn't even
at
have
Ice
her own
in
gear.
Paradise.
When she came over, she had no idea she was even going to be on this team. She didn't know the opportunity was out there.
Came to the first tryouts on a bicycle. And now here she is, an indispensable part of this ice hockey at UCSB program in the 2016-2017 season. She's won 6 of her 7 starts here on the Ice in Paradise sheet. And as you said, Kyle, she continues to get better with each and every passing game. this was a game where you could make the argument that Nora doesn't have the performance she has. The Gauchos probably don't win tonight because
that's 100% fair.
Because a couple of the goals that Morton gave up, the one off the trapper, the one that he gives up to Kevin Mooney, though it's a great shot from the top of the circle, it's certainly from a stoppable position, but Morton caught deep in the net. Penn was on her game, and there were none of the mental mistakes that we saw from Morton. She was a gigantic difference maker in this game for the Gauchos.
And I think you can say for the last 3 games, she has outdueled the opposition goaltender 100%. Maybe not necessarily the first victory against Santa Clara, in which the goaltender there was just lights out sensational. UCSB just dominated the game that much. She was clearly the better goaltender in the second game and clearly the better goaltender in both games here this weekend. Nora Penn is here and she's ready to go, man. The Gauchos have got themselves a spectacular goaltender that they can rely on night after night, and you never know where you're going to get it from. Apparently you can get it from Germany. You never know.
The Gauchos have gotten it done each of the last now 4 games as they've improved to 6-4-0 on the season, and they get ready to head over to the Isoplex in Simi Valley on Saturday, November the 19th, 9:15 face-off. We'll have the broadcast for you audio only on our MixLR channel, mixlr.com/icehockey UCSB. Of course, UCSBhockey.com will be updated with the pertinent information for that as we get closer to game day. Well, it's that time of night where we must thank all of those who make these broadcasts possible. Thank you to staff advisor Susan Goodale. If you want to participate, you want to get involved financially with this student organization, send her an email at susan.goodale@ucsb.edu or call 805-893-3530. Find out how you can support the young men and women student athletes of ice hockey at UCSB by getting in contact with her. Stay in contact and get social with your Gauchos on one of the fistful of social media platforms, 5 of them for you to pick from. Facebook.com/icehockeyUCSB. Throw us a like there. Give us a follow at UCSB Hockey on Twitter. Follow UCSB Ice Hockey on Instagram. The MixLR, as mentioned, mixlr.com/icehockeyUCSB. And audio-only broadcasts are archived at soundcloud.com/icehockeyUCSB. Well, that's going to do it for us here from the Snyder Rink at Ice in Paradise in Goleta. Once again, your final score: the Gauchos win it 4-3 and sweep the season series against Santa Rosa Junior College. For our technical director, Alina Portillo, and our cameraman, Jesse Gutierrez, for color commentator Kyle Nicolas, my name is Eric Evelhoch. It's been my distinct pleasure with this crew to bring this presentation of ice hockey at UCSB to you. The Gauchos sweep away the series with Santa Rosa with a big 4-3 victory. Kevin Mooney, the hero once again, as Penn shuts him down. We'll be back with you next weekend. Good night from Goleta.